Hi, my name is Ian Richards. Today, I'll be doing a presentation on microservices. Microservices is an approach to application development in which a large application is built as a suite of modular services. Each module supports a specific business goal and uses a simple, well-defined interface to communicate with other modules. Before we can understand what is microservices, we must first know why we need microservices. To do this, we need to compare it to what's widely used today, and that's called monolithic architecture. A monolithic application is built as a single unit. It puts all its functionality into a single process. These applications are often built in three main parts: a client-side user interface, which is usually a JavaScript running in a browser on your computer. It also needs a database, and for those of you who have studied database management, will be more familiar with this, as it consists of tables and usually relational database management system. And lastly, a server-side application. Any changes to a system involve building and deploying a new version of the server-side application needs the entire monolithic architecture to be shut down and rebuilt. Don't get me wrong, monolithic application can be very successful, but increasingly companies and people using these applications tend to get a bit frustrated with them. The answer to this problem is to utilize microservices architectural style. Services are independently deployable and scalable. Each services also provide a firm module boundary, even allowing for different services to be written in different programming languages and to be managed by different teams. Software developer and author Martin Fowler is credited with promoting the idea of breaking down services into microservices. Now let me give you a brief illustration on how this works. Let's think about Christmas for a second. A few decades ago, when we wired our home with Christmas lights, and should one bulb got burnt out, we noticed that the entire circuit would go out as well. This is because the bulbs were wired in series. This is very similar to a monolithic architecture. Today, our Christmas lights are wired in parallel. Should one bulb go out, the rest will still be working, and this is where microservices will be effective when creating applications. These are just a few companies in some aspect utilize microservices to facilitate their products to their customers. We have companies like Comcast, Uber, Netflix, Amazon, eBay, just to name a few. To conclude, I will play a short video for you guys that will summarize what was said about microservices. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and thank you for your time.
Websites and apps that we use every day are built by developers who write code that power these applications. For a long time, they've been built the same way. But now there's a new method that's sweeping across the developer landscape. It's called microservices. A traditional application can be thought of as monolithic. A team of coders builds the whole app at the same time as a single cohesive service. With microservices, the application is instead broken up into various components, which are each built by developers separately. Building an app in this way has some advantages. If one part of the microservice goes down, then the other parts can still function. For example, in a mobile banking app, if the transfer money function is broken, users can still check their account balance. With monolithic apps, if one component goes down, it usually brings the whole service down with it. There are some challenges to microservices applications. They can be harder to manage because there are more components to coordinate. Microservices are also best handled by developers who work in an agile or DevOps mindset. As technologies like cloud computing and application containers become more common, microservices are gaining popularity. But it does require IT shops to rethink their environments to prepare for all these microservices.